Pipe bomb. That is an interesting word to use, Spectre. The word pipe bomb. Now, you didn't use it in your video, but when you posted it everywhere, you used the word pipe bomb. Well, Spectre, let me enlighten you on the word pipe bomb. Pipe bomb is unloading the truth that another individual simply doesn't want to hear. So let me tell you what you simply don't want to hear. The chamber. You want to talk about life not being fair. You want to talk about me bitching about life not being fair. Well, let's talk about life not being fair for a moment, shall we? You interjected yourself at the chamber, just like you interjected yourself at Black Horizon. You were supposed to be this special guest ring enforcer, not to be someone to get into the ring and cost me the Wrestle UTA championship. But you did that, Spectre, out of jealousy, because you are a very vindictive and jealous person who likes to point the finger at everyone else for his shortcomings. You wanted to talk about BACW without actually mentioning it. You discussed Brad Bettee without actually calling him by name, about not being recognized as a Hall of Famer. But Spectre, you seem to be the most protected person on the face of the planet. You burn down your compound. You fake your own death. You manage to hide behind a camera. Sucker punch me, knock me out. Drag me up to the top of a 20-foot scaffold and throw me off in what was billed, what was supposed to be this big to-do, this triple tier Circus of Fun match that wasn't even for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. But lo and behold, the moment that I'm tossed off, a couple of Brad Bettee lackeys at the announce table calls it a World Championship match, and you are the champion. Black Horizon, here in Wrestle UTA. You're supposed to be a special ring enforcer, not the judge, jury, and executioner of who you think ought to be the Wrestle UTA champion. At the chamber, there was a whole pod set up for a cardboard cutout of you. Meanwhile, you were hiding under the ring, like the scared chicken shit coward that you are. You see, Spectre, you wanted to bring up pipe bomb. So let me bring up the real pipe bomb. And that is that, again, you are the most protected person on the face of the planet. You are more protected than President Barack Obama. You are more protected than the sorry piece of shit that's in charge of ISIS. You see, Spectre, all you did was fail, because the Wrestle UTA Championship still is in the possession of Dynasty. It is no longer being possessed by Madman Zelensky and the Shoot Kings. Now, granted, I'm quite sure that no one saw Dynasty and Shoot Kings coming. Least of all you, most importantly, neither did Mr. Wingate. But for some odd reason, Wingate has allowed this to continue. And you know what? And I'm jumping ahead of myself. You wanted to talk about how I'm hiding behind Vanessa, Perfection, CBR, and Catherine Velmont Thomas. Well, Spectre, why is it I stood alone? I was standing alone as the Wrestle UTA champion going into Black Horizon. And what happened? You did. You acted like the coward that you are and cost me the championship. I stood alone in the chamber. You had an opportunity to be in one of the chambers, to face me in the ring. Instead, you didn't do it. You hid under the ring and once again costed me a match. You want to talk about pipe bombs, Spectre? Hey, we'll talk pipe bombs. We'll talk about how you have lied, cheated, stole your way to where you are today. We'll talk about how you hid behind the Brood in BACW and the NWA. You want to talk about hiding, Spectre? We'll talk about hiding. We'll talk about Dante. We'll talk about your doppelganger. About how you used him religiously, especially in big-time matches against me. We'll bring up T.S. Jeremiah Woods. Yeah, let's talk about hiding for a moment. You know, since you're the one who brought it up. Me being with Dynasty is of your own doing, Spectre. Of your own doing, because you couldn't leave well enough alone, because you knew you couldn't get the job done on your own. So don't come out and on video land and talk down to me about hiding behind things, about hiding behind people. Don't come out on a video and talk about how at the end of the year you're going to tell me and tell the rest of the world who it was that brought you into Wrestle UTA. So you're talking about hiding. You're hiding behind. Now you're just being a hypocrite, because you yourself are hiding. You're hiding behind whoever it was that brought you into Wrestle UTA. You're hiding behind who it was that enabled you to be the special ring enforcer and screwing me out of the Wrestle UTA championship belt without even as much as a slap on the wrist. The same person or persons responsible for allowing you to have a cardboard cutout inside one of the pods at the chamber, allowing you to hide under the ring and costing me Ring King, and still not even a slap on the wrist. What do you get out of all of your troubles? A match against CBR. But yet you want to talk down to me. You want to criticize me. Spectre, again, you're nothing more than a hypocrite. You're nothing more than a liar. Exactly what I've called you from day one since you arrived in Wrestle UTA. But yet you want to point the finger at me like I am the guilty one. Spectre, I'm not hiding behind anyone. I just have assistance now against the kind of tomfoolery and treachery that you've been pulling since your arrival in Wrestle UTA at Black Horizon. You see, what's happened in Wrestle UTA is not my fault. It's not the fault of Dynasty. It's actually your fault. It's actually Madman Zielinski's fault. And it's Mr. Wingate's fault that Dynasty has now formed. The Shoot Kings have now formed. It's Mr. Wingate's fault that I blasted Thatcher Rex and Graham Clausen this past Sunday. It's Wingate's fault that the Shoot Kings decided that they wanted to attack Dynasty and myself at the local Denny's there at Bridgeport, injuring my knee. Yes, injuring my knee. But it's just very, very fortunate that KVT knows a special doctor by the name of Dr. Goldstein that has given me clearance now to wear a brace on my knee to protect it. And I wonder why. I wonder how the Shoot Kings knew to go after my right knee. Let's see here. What is the connection with Shoot Kings and the Spectre? Oh, that's right. At Black Horizon, you purposely handed the championship belt to Madman Zelensky, who is now a member of the Shoot Kings. Go figure. And yet you want to say I am hiding behind people. Spectre, I got to hand it to you. For a bona fide Hall of Famer, you sure do cry, and you sure do bitch a lot about what others are doing. You know what? I have a brilliant idea for you. How about you stand up like a man? How about you stand up like a man and admit that all of this wouldn't have happened had you just done your job at Black Horizon? What happened to Thatcher Rex? What happened to Graham Clausen? And what happened to Mikey Unlikely? I told the world. You see, what do you think happens, Spectre, when you push an injured animal into a corner? He comes out more dangerous than ever. Well, Spectre, I've now become an injured animal with carte blanche to hurt as many people as necessary. You have a championship match coming up with CBR in 2 weeks. Pipe bomb!